Alright, that's what the inside of that tank looks like. That gray spot right there in front. Come on, focus on it. There you go. There was a couple pinholes right there. Inside of that tank was just scaly and nasty, and I put muriatic acid in it. And it sat overnight in my shop, and those 3 holes developed. I think it was just pits that rusted through, and muriatic acid dissolved the pits. There's a rust in the pits, and it leaked out in the shop, so I had a clean spot in the shop floor. But when it was still wet, it was just gray in there, and then of course I put it in the wood room there with the boiler, and it dried right out, but it flash rust too. So anyhow, we got a little bit of flash rust in there, but I don't think it's gonna bother it any. I'm gonna use I did sand the outside of it down and got my DA busy. I'm up in the basement because it's raining and cold out. I'm gonna use this in it. I've used this stuff before. In fact, I use this can, use part of it to seal up a gas tank on a small engine. Of course, it has a bunch of nasty stuff in it, but yeah, I got this at a place called Snyder's Antique Auto. They're online. They sell Model A and Model T Ford parts, but that's the part number. So, and this can's probably about 20 years old, so I'm going to pour it in the tank. I've got the outlet plugged. There's my pressure washer. I'm going to pour it in there and we're going to slosh it around. So, alright, I'll bring it back. Alright. I poured it in there. And need to get to rolling it around there. I got the plug in the bottom of it, so I need to put the lid on. What did I do with the lid cap? Here it is. Alright, we're going to roll it around. It's pretty. It's about the consistency of thick chocolate milk. It looks like it kind of looks like Elmer's glue is what it reminds me of. But all right, let's get to rolling this thing around. It says to roll it on every side and get each side coated. I've used this stuff before. I did my Farmall H gas tank, and that was probably 30 years ago. But I got that stuff from a company called Eastwood, and it's still in there, believe it or not. It's turned brown, but you want to coat the whole inside. Yeah, I need 2 hands. And the ends, stand it up on in there. Get the whole thing coated on the inside. That'll save the pits from ever leaking. I really didn't need to. I brazed them pits up, but I didn't need to. I could have held something over them or taped over them, and it would have sealed them up on the inside. Alright, I'm going to roll this thing around a little bit more here, and then we're going to drain it out. Before I do that, let's take a peek. Oh yeah, looks good in there. I don't know what that stripe is. There's the drain. Alright, let me roll it around some more. Well, there's how much of it's left in the corner. It's pretty much coated everything. A couple rust spots popping through there, but I think it just stains the sealer. And that thing was dry when we poured it in there, so I think I'm going to drain it out. It's milky. See it right here on the edge? It's really milky, so yeah, looks like it's got everything coated, even the inside of the gas cap. So alright, I'm going to pull the plug and drain it here. They said you could recoat it after it sets for a day or two, but anyhow, I'm going to pull the plug. And there it is, running out of there. I'd say I used probably a third of a quart. I don't know, it says you can recoat it, so maybe I'll put another coating in there. I'll let this thing drain out as much as I can, and then maybe we'll reapply it. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright, I got the manual out here where I cranked the bee over. I had the ignition off 180 degrees. The last video I think I showed the fire in that little hole there. It says fire on the cranks or on the flywheel. But I just cranked it over till it said fire. Well, I pulled number one, or pulled the distributor cap off here, and it was 180 degrees out. So I had to, at that point, take the magneto off, turn the impulse coupling over 180 degrees and put it back on. So that gave me, it's at number one top dead center, and the distributor, the rotary button is pointed at number one, and this is number one right to there. Everything's good on the timing that way. I still have to run the rack. I'm working on that. Valve tappet gap. B and BE engine. BC and CA, they're all 10 thousandths. The CA is 12, which is the later model engine. I think it probably run a little hotter, but anyhow, we want 10 thousandths. Now, the question is, where in this mess? Haha, yes. Feeler's gauge. Let me find a 10,000. See if we can set you up here. 8, 9, 10. I think since the last time, since I let me get that right. It won't focus on it. There it is. 10,000. Since I did the timing on that daggone Onan, I found my better feeler gauges. So we're gonna stick this in here. Oh yeah, we got plenty of clearance. Let me get my hands right. And that is not a 9/16, so I'm gonna go with this. Let me screw this down till we got 10,000s here. And it always changes when you tighten the nut, so kind of gotta get a feel for it and how much it's gonna tighten when you tighten the jam nut down. Because sometimes the nut tightens the screw down, makes the clearance tighter, and sometimes it pulls the screw back. That's pretty good drag right there. Alright. That's one top dead center. What's the next one to fire? Firing order. 1, 2, 4, 3. So 2 is the next one to come up on top dead center. So we're going to turn the crank. What's happening? Impulse. That must. Set that one. I think that's it. I give it a. We'll try that one again, but. Snug. That's too tight. Something a lot of people ignore is valve timing or valve clearances. some of them four valve per cylinder Cummins, you let the timing or the valve clearance get too far out of whack, them bridges will jump out. Bridges will jump out between the valves and cause you a whole bunch of grief. It's a little snugger than the others, but that's pretty good. Alright, number 4. I'll set you back here. A little further away. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold on there. There we go. Exhaust, intake. This is what I should be doing. I should be feeling for compression. Alright, I'm sure of that one. Because it's coming up on compression right now. I can feel the air coming out of the spark plug hole. And let's set them up here. I want to do number 2 again because I'm not sure I had it up there. Too tight. Like that. Okay, that's number 4, so number 3, and I'll put my finger over the spark plug hole. I got intake, sucking air in, exhaust, intake, and I screwed up, I missed it. Down. Okay, that should be Pretty close to top dead center on that one. Not enough flat spots here to set my tools down. That's pretty good. Ooh, nice. Nice. And people think it should be getting more clearance. It goes both ways. If you get, if the valves seat up further in the head, the clearance it closes the clearance up, holds them open. So, okay, back to number 2. I've got intake. It's on the way down. Put my finger over the hole, spark plug hole. Intake's on its way down. The cylinder's on its way down. Okay, there we got air out of it. Let me check that one. Make sure number 2 is right. The exhaust is a little loose, so let's tighten up the exhaust. Too tight now. Yep. Very good. I'm good with that. Okay. Hello. The valve clearance has been set. The timing's been set. Let me put the spark plugs back in. Hook the wires back up. And maybe I'll rig up a gas tank. So, alright, I'll bring you back.